Hi everyone, I'm Jess from ShipShape PA. I'm going to be taking you through a shoulder mobility workout today. We're going to be doing some stretches and exercises to increase the strength of that shoulder and help it move through its full range of motion without any pain. So you're going to need a couple different things for today. If you have a light dumbbell, that would be great. So I have a 3-pound dumbbell, which is perfect for me. You might want to go lighter or maybe a little bit heavier. If you don't have a dumbbell, you can grab a can of soup. That will work just as well. Other thing I have for today is a band. So I'm going to be using the band while standing, and then I'm also going to do an exercise at a door. Last thing you're going to need is some kind of stick of some sort. So I actually have a stick from my uncle from Mexico. So you will just need this. You can get a broom, that works fine. You can use like a PVC pipe. So we'll need that in a few exercises. So first thing we're going to start off doing is eyes, Ys, and Ts. So for eyes, Ys, and Ts, we're bending over at the waist here, making an I with those arms, a Y, and then a T. We're going to go 10 in each direction, taking our time with this, just moving those arms through the entire range of motion. Try and keep your shoulders down, and by that I mean I don't want the shoulders up at your ears, keeping them relaxed as you're going through the movement here. Here is a side view. So we're going 10 in each direction here. That is 5, and I'm moving back forward. Take your time with this. We're just increasing some blood flow to the shoulder area, the upper back. Alright, and we got one more here. This next exercise we're going to do is called a shoulder pass through. So this is what you're going to need: that stick, that broom, that PVC pipe, whatever you have. We're going to be using it for this exercise. So hands are going to be wider than shoulder width here, and just going to be standing here in a neutral position as I raise this stick up overhead and then back behind my head. So here is a side view, and then we're bringing it back forward. So we're going to do this 10 times, just kind of holding it back here before we bring it back forward. So I only want you going as far as you can without any pain. So when you get to that end point, you should feel a little bit of a stretch, but you shouldn't feel any pain. And I just want you going as far back as you can. Some of you may be able to get that stick down all the way behind. My mobility in my right shoulder isn't as great as it could be from shoulder surgery. We're going to do 2 more here. And last one. Got some cracking in my shoulder going. Alright, next stretch we're going to do is just that arm across the chest, pulling it here. You should feel this in your shoulder, your upper back. We're going to hold this for a few seconds. So really feel that stretch, pulling. I don't want that shoulder raised up at the head, at the ear. I want it relaxed here. We're just going to hold this position. Alright, and we're going to switch arms here, pulling that other arm directly across the chest, keeping that shoulder down, not shrugged up by your ear. Alright, next thing we're going to do is find our way down onto the floor. This next stretch is called the sleeper stretch. So you're going to be lying on a side. You can pick whatever side you want first. Your arm is going to be here at your side at 90 degrees, so fingers are pointing up. And what you're going to do is take this other arm and you're just going to press your hand down as far as you can go until you feel that stretch. I don't want you feeling any pain with this. And then you can release it, come back up, relax a little bit before you press it back down again. And then we're bringing it back up, relax before we press it back down. So your arm should be at 90 degrees the entire time you're doing this. We're going to go 2 more times here. Bringing it back down. You may find that you're able to go a little bit further each time as you stretch this more. And we're going to go 1 more time down, and then we're going to switch sides here. Alright, whenever you're ready, I'm going to switch sides. Going on my right side this time. Arm is at 90 degrees to the body. Bringing the hand up. So my arm is at 90 degrees, and we're just going to press it as far down as we can until you feel that stretch. I have a little bit less mobility in this shoulder. And then we're going to relax before bringing it back down again. So you can see that my right arm here doesn't go down as far as my left arm did. And then you can relax again before coming back down and holding. This is a great stretch that you can do every day to increase that flexibility and mobility in the shoulder. We're going to go through this 2 more times here. Relax, and then we're going to bring it back down. We're going to go 1 more time. We're going to relax that arm, and then pull it back down again. Really feeling that stretch in the shoulder here. Alright, I'm going to stand back up. Next thing you're going to need is your band. We're going to be doing band pull-aparts, so you're not going to need the handles here. So holding the band right in front of me, palms are up, band is in my hands, and I'm just going to be standing here and then pulling that band apart as far as I can. So another thing to note, we're going to keep those shoulders down. I don't want them shrugged up at the ears. And as you pull that band apart, you should feel your shoulder blades pinching together at the back. You're just pulling that band apart as much as you can. So this is a good shoulder exercise for strength here. I'm only going to do 10 reps, but you can repeat this whole video 3 times. Go through each of the exercise for 3 sets. Alright, we're going to do a couple more here. Really focusing on pinching those shoulder blades together. Alright, last one. And you can put that band down. Next thing we're going to do here is grab our dumbbell. Again, if you don't have a dumbbell, you can grab like a can of, can of seltzer water. You can grab a soup can, whatever works best for you. We're going to bring this shoulder here 90 degrees. So keeping the arm at shoulder height, bending that elbow to 90 degrees, and we're going to externally rotate here, bringing that dumbbell straight up, and then bringing it back down. Keeping this arm at shoulder height the entire time. Bringing it back down. So here is a side view. So you can see my elbow is staying still the entire time throughout this exercise. And bringing it back down. can already feel this in my shoulder. And then I'm going to do one more on my right side before we switch to the left side. I'm going to do 10 on each shoulder. So again, same position here, arm at shoulder height, elbows bent to 90 degrees, externally rotating that arm up, and then back down. I'm going to go through 10 reps. I might not do exactly 10 when I'm talking. I tend to lose track of my reps. But make sure you're doing 10 reps on each shoulder here. I want you going through this slowly. So 3 pounds is plenty for me. It is just enough to get me to feel it without being too heavy. I think if I went any heavier, it would be too much for my shoulder. If I went any lighter, I don't think I would feel it. So you want to make sure that you're getting an adequate exercise here, feeling that muscle fatigue as you get to the 10. Alright, next thing we're going to do is extension. So this can either be done against the wall. I'm going to be doing it on the ground. So sometimes when you're pressed with your back up against the wall, it's hard to keep that neutral position. You might arch your back a little bit. So when you're coming down onto the ground, you're going to be in like a dead bug position essentially. So laying on the ground, bringing those legs up, I'm pressing my entire back into the ground here. So my lower back is in contact with the floor, almost like you have a stake going through your belly button that's keeping you locked in. So bringing those arms down to 90 degrees here on the floor, trying to keep as much as your arms in contact with the floor as possible. We're just going to extend those arms straight up overhead and then bringing them back down. The goal here is to get those arms straight up overhead so that they are directly next to your ears, trying to keep your arms in contact with the floor the entire time. So I just felt my lower back coming up off the ground a little bit, so I just press back down a little more. The goal is to keep the entire back against the floor the entire time as you raise those arms and then lower back down. We're going to be doing this 10 times. So bringing those arms straight up overhead so that they are right next to your ears. The arms are pressed down against the ground as much as possible. And we're going to go one more rep here. This might be difficult if you don't have as much mobility. You might struggle to get your arms up all the way. That is perfectly okay. Just get your arms to go up as high as you possibly can. We got 2 more exercises to do here. So I'm going to grab my band and I'm going to go place this on a door. So I have this here, and we're going to go move this computer. I'm going to take a walk in my basement. So I'm going to set this up on this door here. It's okay if you don't have this set up with a band. You might not. Other option you have is to use dumbbells here. So I'm going to be doing a row. It's just going to be a high to low row. So stepping back as much as I can here so that I have some tension on the band. And then I'm just going to row my arms back until this comes down. So pinching those shoulder blades together, doing 10 reps. Other option you have is sitting down on the ground with this. So I'm going to move this so you can see how I'm set up. So I'm sitting down on the ground with my band here. And again, this is going to make it a little bit more difficult than standing. You're going to have more tension. This angle makes it a little bit harder. But you want to make sure you're getting the most out of this exercise. You're going to do 10 reps. Again, I want you to go through each of these exercises 3 times total to get in a full workout. So I'm making sure to squeeze those shoulder blades when I get to the back. Other thing I can do is a little isometric hold here. So once I get back into this position, I'm just going to hold for a couple seconds before I release. That makes this exercise a little bit more difficult. Squeezing those muscles before bringing it back up. Alright, we got one more exercise for you guys. Again, this is going to be using the band. So this is a banded pull down. So going to take a little bit of a step back, and you're just keeping your arms straight the entire time as you pull that band down here. Arms are straight the entire time, doing 10 reps. Make sure you're not shrugging those shoulders up by your ears, just really focusing on pulling it down. Again, this is another great exercise where you can do an isometric hold here. This might be difficult to try and do with dumbbells, but with those rows that I was doing, you can definitely use dumbbells in place of a banded row. That works just as well. Then we're going to do 2 more here. Alright, that is everything that I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed the workout. If you have any more questions or exercises that you need some help with for your shoulder, I'd be more than happy to help, so feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Jess Hamden from ShipShape PA. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope your shoulder health is going to improve after this. Have a good one, guys.